criminal behavior in its underage users?
TikTok does not.
Quickly.
Excuse me?
That answer is yes. What about Douyin? ByteDance says they are fully separate, but do Douyin employees have any access?
Sure, that's a completely different app from TikTok. And
No, it's a related company. You might want to check that.
businesses within China. It's not
Okay,
connected with
you're
TikTok.
having a hard time. You're answering questions I'm not asking. Again, it's a yes/no. Is Beijing... What you just said did not answer the question, so let me just repeat the question again. I've asked you 3 times about this sister company that is obviously another affiliate. You've refused 3 times. That may be revealing, often as Sherlock Holmes observed about the dogs that do not bark, it may be revealing that the Chinese propaganda minister that is serving on your sister company and who's been in the business of online propaganda, you're refusing to answer whether they fall under your privacy policy. That reveals, I think, chance, and my time is over, but look, in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. Tonight, the Astros are going to begin winning the World Series. Let's see if a 4th strike, you could actually answer the question. And it's a simple yes/no. Is Beijing
against platforms that engage in child pornography and related abuses?
Of course, Senator, again, my memory is failing me a little bit, but...
Is that a yes or a no?
It's a maybe.
And other issues, they are reaching for substances, oftentimes pills and opioids, but these substances are laced with fentanyl, enough fentanyl to kill them.
Mm-hmm. But here's my problem is that if a kid had just walked into, say, a pharmacy, you wouldn't be able to buy that or get that. But in this case, they can get on your platform and just find a way to buy it. And that is the problem. And I guess I want to know, are you going to get your drugs? I appreciate everything you said. I appreciate you meeting with the mom. Are you going to get drugs off Snapchat when you have all these kids, half the kids in America looking at these platforms?
I assure you, this is...
So would you support that legislation passing then, which would ban autoplay?
We'd be happy to look at it and talk to you about it.
You don't do it.
Again, I think it's important as we look at age-appropriate features for teens. It's something that we build into TikTok proactively. But again, as we look at legislation, I do think a first step is something around age verification across apps.
Again, this is the historic problem. Yes, Ms. Stout, would you support it? Targeted ads to children.
Senator, I defer to you and your peers in terms of what you would want to move forward. But again, we have not waited for laws like this.
No, I'm saying to you, would you support to make sure there's a uniform banning of this practice? If you have already adopted it as a company, would you support that being the standard that we have for all platforms across the country?
As you describe it, it's consistent with the approach we've already taken.
And you would support it? Is that what you're saying?
Senator, again, we are already doing this. And
no, I'm asking you, would you support?
Consistent.
No, we're trying to draft a law here. Would you support that provision being in a law that prohibited it?
Senator, yes, as we already prohibit targeted advertising
that's
on
all we're
kids
trying to
as
do.
it
Just
is.
get to yes so that we can legislate it. So that we can legislate. Ms. Berkman, should kids ban targeted ads to kids?
Senator, we offer those tools already where kids can opt out and not have targeted ads served to them.
Would you support that as a national law, that we ban it?
Senator, an example of that has been the age-appropriate design code, which we adhere to, and I can tell you, Senator, we are looking at exactly that model to apply elsewhere.
Would you support it as a law that this body passes this year just to prohibit it? If you say it's wrong, should we prohibit it?
We offer those, and we agree with the approach, so...
So yes, you do support it, yes or no?
We agree with your approach, so we are applying it to more
right, I appreciate what you're doing. Right, we're now trying to say if you support it, then we just support a law to prohibit anyone else from doing it. Yes?
I think we're very close, Senator, yes.
Very close. Okay, Mr. Beckerman.
Yes, Senator, I would also say that...
I'll turn to the ranking member.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Beckerman, I want to come to you first. In the past, TikTok has said that it has never, nor would it ever, share and provide user data to the Chinese government, even if asked. Yet your privacy policy says you can disclose data collected to respond to government inquiries. It also says you share data you collect with your parent companies and affiliates, and that you transmit user information to servers and data centers overseas. And earlier this year, the Chinese Communist Party acquired an ownership stake and a seat on the board of ByteDance. So does TikTok share user data with its parent company, ByteDance?
Thank you, Senator. This is an important question, and I'm glad you're asking. TikTok does not.
Quickly.
Excuse
Time is
me?
running. Quickly, please.
Yes, Senator. We do not share information with the Chinese government, and I would like to point you to a Citizen Lab report, which is one of the most well-respected global national security experts, where they said, our research shows that there's no overt data transmission to the Chinese government, and our testing TikTok did not contact any servers within China. And then the report goes on to state, Senator,
let me
that
ask
TikTok does
you-
not pose a threat to national security, and I'd be happy to submit that report,
Okay, let
for
me
the record.
ask you, please submit the report for the record. Do any ByteDance employees have access to TikTok user data or any role in creating their algorithm?
Senator, U.S. user data is stored in the United States. Our backups are in Singapore, and we have a world-renowned U.S.-based security team that handles access to
I
user data.
understand that you say you store it in Singapore. Tell me about programmers, product developers, and the data teams. Are they housed in China?
Senator, like many technology companies, we have engineers in the United States and throughout and around the world.
And so they have access to algorithms and data?
Senator, we have engineers in the United States, and we also have engineers.
So that answer is yes. What about Douyin? ByteDance says they are fully separate, but do Douyin employees have any access to TikTok user data or input into the algorithm?
Senator, that's a completely different app from TikTok. And
No, it's a related company. You might want to check that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If the Chinese Communist Party asks you for U.S. user data, what is to stop you from providing it, since they have a seat on the board of ByteDance and they have a financial stake in the company?
Senator, that's not accurate. One, they do not have a stake in TikTok at all.
Oh, yes, they do. It happened in August.
Marsha.
Senator, that's not
That
accurate.
is ByteDance, and we can clarify that for the record. But the record is that the Chinese Communist Party acquired a stake in ByteDance in August, and they now have a seat on the board. So what do you do with this? Are you creating a virtual you of the children that are on your site?
Senator, I don't know what you mean by virtual you.
Well, a virtual you is you and your presence online. It's like a virtual dossier. I'm sure you understand that term. And what do you need with all criminal behavior in its underage users?
I would hope you would answer that way. Could a TikTok user put up a video criticizing Xi Jinping? I know he's sensitive, for example, of being compared to Winnie the Pooh. Could a TikTok user put up videos that kind of make fun of him, maybe with references to Winnie the Pooh? I don't know why he doesn't like Winnie the Pooh, but for some reason you can't put Winnie the Pooh up anywhere in China. Can a TikTok user do that?
Yes, Senator.
Really? 2019, you admitted to censoring videos mentioning Tibetan independence. Can a TikTok user mention Tibetan independence?
Yes, Senator.
TikTok public policy director in 2020 admitted that TikTok had previously censored content that was critical of the CCP in regard to forced labor with regard to Uyghur Muslims. Is that true?
That's
Been censored by the Chinese Communist Party on any matter? These are, I'm just reading from this, maybe these are all wrong. So the Tibetan independence and the Uyghur Muslim forced labor issues were not censored? I have wrong information on that.
They're not currently censored.
Were they previously censored by anyone at TikTok? I'm reading here 2019, 2020, you admitted, somebody in TikTok admitted doing that. So that didn't happen?
I'm not aware of.
Should be looking at, because the Chinese Communist Party, of course, can crush freedom of speech in their own country, but they shouldn't be able to crush it in this country. Mr. Beckerman, I'm glad that you're denying any of this. I look forward to seeing videos somewhere, somehow on TikTok that are critical of the Chinese Communist Party. I'm not really holding my breath, but maybe it's true. Maybe ByteDance and the CCP board members are fine with videos criticizing President Xi Jinping and other members of the Communist Party. So you're saying that's totally fine and completely acceptable policy for TikTok?
You want to hear my impersonation of American? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I really want that. That looks good.
Hey, let me try.
I'll use my credit card. Do you have any non-dairy creamer?
Y'all coming back now, here?
Mr. Beckerman, after my staff reviewed your privacy policy, I want to list some of the items that TikTok will automatically collect from one of its users. That person's location, the device model of your phone, their browsing history outside and inside of TikTok, content of all messages sent on TikTok, their IP address, their biometric identifying information, and information from their phones, such as keystroke patterns and other apps. Do you believe this sort of mass data collection is necessary to deliver a high-quality experience to your users?
Senator, thank you for that question. Some of those items that you listed off are things that we're not currently collecting, and we state in the privacy policy that if we were to, we would notify users and get their consent.
And which of those that I named have that condition?
Yeah, as it relates to biometric, I didn't write down every single thing. I'd be happy to go through it with you and your team on that.
Perfect. We will follow up with you. My question is, regardless of which ones require consent of those I mentioned, why should any member of this committee feel comfortable with the vast amounts of data?
Where's the rent check, Robert?
It's an out-of-state check. I'm waiting for it to clear. Should be clear by Wednesday.
Your company is collecting on our children, especially since TikTok has a relationship to the Chinese Communist Party.
Senator, first off, as it relates to data, TikTok actually collects less in many categories than many of our peers. And some of these things, as you mentioned, keystroke, that's not collecting actually what people are typing. That's actually an anti-fraud, anti-spam measure that measures the cadence of typing, because a bot, for example, would behave very differently than a human. And so it's not actually collecting what people are typing. It's an anti-fraud measure.
Which of your competitors or other companies that you're aware of collect more information?
I probably would point to Facebook and Instagram, for example.
Well, I'll ask the same questions of them. Thank you. This for all our witnesses. Are your platforms specifically designed to keep users engaged as long as possible?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Beckerman, thank you for being here today. I understand this is the first time that TikTok is testifying before Congress, and I appreciate you making the company available to finally answer some questions. In your testimony, you talked about all the things you say TikTok is doing to protect kids online, and that's great. But I want to discuss the broader issue here, which is the control the Chinese Communist Party has over TikTok, its parent company, ByteDance, and its sister companies like Beijing ByteDance Technology. Now, TikTok has stated repeatedly that it doesn't share the data it collects from Americans with the Chinese Communist Party, and that it wouldn't do so if asked. It has also stated that, with regards to data collected on and from Americans, that data is stored in Virginia with a backup in Singapore. But these denials may in fact be misleading. A quick look at TikTok's privacy policy, in fact, just last night, shows there's a lot more than meets the eyes. For example, in the, quote, how we share your information section, one blurb reads, quote, we may share all of the information we collect with a parent, subsidiary, or other affiliate of our corporate group. Interestingly, in June of this year, the privacy policy was updated to state that TikTok, quote, may collect biometric identifiers and biometric information as defined under U.S. laws, such as face prints and voice prints. Mr. Beckerman, does TikTok consider ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, which is headquartered in Beijing, to be a part of TikTok's, quote, corporate group, as that term is used in your privacy policy?
Thank you, Senator. This is an important question. I'd just like to take an opportunity first to clear up misconceptions around some of the accusations that have been leveled against the company. I would like to point to independent research. I understand that trust needs to be earned.
Mr. Beckerman, I get you may have broader points you want to make. My question is simple and straightforward. Does TikTok consider ByteDance, the parent company headquartered in Beijing, to be part of TikTok's corporate group? That's a yes or no.
Senator, access controls for our data is done by our U.S. teams. And as independent researchers, independent experts have pointed out, the data that TikTok has on the app is not of a national security importance and is of low sensitivity. But again, we do hold that to a high standard, and we have access controls.
Mr. Beckman, we're going to try a third time because the words that came out of your mouth have no relation to the question you were asked. Your privacy policy says you will share information with your corporate group. I'm asking a very simple question. Is ByteDance, your parent company, headquartered in Beijing, part of your corporate group? Yes or no, as you use the term in your privacy policy?
Senator, I think it's important that I address the broader point in your statement.
So are you willing to answer the question, yes or no? It is a yes or no question. Are they part of your corporate group or not?
Yes, Senator, it is.
Yes, it is. Okay, so under your privacy policy, you're explicitly stating that you may be sharing data with them, including biometric identifiers, including face prints, including voice prints. Is that correct?
No, Senator. In the privacy policy, it says that if we are to collect biometric information, which we do not collect biometric data to identify Americans, we would provide consent and opportunity for consent first.
But you also say we may share all of the information we collect with a parent subsidiary or other affiliate of our corporate group, which means with ByteDance headquartered in Beijing, correct?
Under U.S. access control, sir.
All right. Secondly, what about Beijing ByteDance technology, which media reports from earlier this year showed Beijing took a minority stake in through a state-backed internet investment Chinese entity, and on the board of which now sits Wu Shenggang, a CCP official who spent most of his career in Chinese propaganda, including with a stint at the Online Opinion Bureau under the Cyberspace Administration of China, China's internet regulator. Would you consider Beijing ByteDance technology to be a part of TikTok's corporate group with whom TikTok could share all of the information it collects?
Senator, I want to be clear that that entity has no affiliation with TikTok. It's based for domestic licenses of the business in China that is not affiliated or connected to TikTok.
So are you saying no or yes or no as to whether Beijing ByteDance technology is part of your corporate group? As the privacy policy defines it, it says we may share all of the information we collect with a parent, subsidiary, or other affiliate, and presumably that's where it would fall, other affiliate of our corporate group. Is Beijing ByteDance technology a, quote, other affiliate of your corporate group?
Senator, I'm saying that entity deals with domestic businesses within China. It's not connected with TikTok.
You're having a hard time. You're answering questions I'm not asking. Again, it's a yes, no. Is Beijing ByteDance technology a, quote, other affiliate of your corporate group as your own privacy policy defines it?
Senator, I'm just trying to be clear to answer your question. That entity is based in China for the Chinese business that is not affiliated or connected with TikTok.
Okay. So that's twice you haven't answered. Last time you did it on the third time, so let's try it again. Again, it's a yes, no.
The answer is the same, Senator.
Which is?
What I just said, that entity is...
Okay. What you just said did not answer the question, so let me just repeat the question again. Is Beijing ByteDance technology a, quote, other affiliate of our corporate group as your privacy policy defines it? Yes or no?
Senator, as I stated, that entity does not have any relation to the TikTok entity.
So I'll point out it took 3 questions to get you to answer about your parent. You finally answered yes, that you can share all your information with your parent company based in Beijing. I've asked you 3 times about this sister company that is obviously another affiliate. You've refused 3 times. That may be revealing, often as Sherlock Holmes observed about the dogs that do not bark, it may be revealing that the Chinese propaganda minister that is serving on your sister company and who's been in the business of online propaganda, you're refusing to answer whether they fall under your privacy policy. That reveals, I think, a great deal, unfortunately.
Senator, with all due respect, I'm just trying to be accurate here. There's a lot of accusations that are just not true, and I want to make sure that it's
okay,
clear.
I'm going to give you one more chance, and my time is over. But look, in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. Tonight, the Astros are going to begin winning the World Series. Let's see if a 4th strike, you could actually answer the question. And it's a simple yes/no. Is Beijing ByteDance Technology a, quote, other affiliate of our corporate group as your privacy policy defines that term?
Senator, as I pointed out before, my answer is the same.
Yes or no? You didn't answer.
Senator, I appreciate you're trying with gotcha questions. I'm just trying to
it's not a gotcha question. I'm asking about your policy.
Trying to be truthful and accurate about the
Are you willing
between...
to answer this question, yes or no?
Senator, I answered the question.
You have not answered the question. Is it another affiliate, yes or no?
Senator, I stated a number of times that entity is a domestic entity within China for licenses there. And
apples are red. You stated something that is not the question I asked. Is it another affiliate as defined under your privacy policy, yes or no?
Senator, I answered.
You're here under oath. Are you going to answer the questions?
I answered the question.
Or were you instructed not to answer this question?
No, Senator. I'm just.
So you're just not refusing to answer it because you don't want to?
Senator, it is not affiliated with TikTok. That's your question, and that is the answer.
So your answer, I want to be clear because you're under oath. Your answer is that Beijing ByteDance Technology is not a, quote, other affiliate of our corporate group as your privacy policy uses that term. This is a legal question with consequence.
Senator, I understand the question. As I pointed out, TikTok is not available in China. That is an entity that is for purposes of a license of a business in China that is not affiliated with TikTok.
So for the record, you're refusing to answer the question.
I believe I answered your question, Senator.
Yes or no? Tell me which one it is. Just give me one word, yes or no.
Senator, I answered the question.
You're not willing to say yes or no?
It's not. It was not a yes or no question. I want to be precise.
Okay,
I want to be.
Is this company another affiliate as defined in your privacy policy? That is binary. There's not a maybe. It's yes or no.
Senator, the way I answered, I'm not aware that that is the answer to the question.
Okay, so you're refusing to answer the question. That does not give this committee any confidence that TikTok is doing anything other than participating in Chinese propaganda and espionage on American
children.
Senator,
that's not accurate. And again, I would point you to.
If it were not accurate, you would answer the questions, and you have dodged the questions more than any witness I have seen in my 9 years serving in the Senate. That is saying something, because witnesses often try to dodge questions, but you answer non sequiturs and refuse to answer very simple questions. That, in my experience, when a witness does that, it is because they are hiding something.
You.